Hi, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Shifted. Today, I want to talk to you about visibility, specifically this month in March of 2026. So, I'm curious, when you first hear or even just think of the word visibility, what comes up for you? What are you literally feeling inside of your body? Do you feel anxious at the thought of having to put yourself out there? Do you start to overthink what to create content about, or are you second guessing that piece of content that you literally just hit publish on? By the way, I'm totally raising my hand over here because I'm here to tell you that feeling anxious, feeling stressed out, feeling burnt out, annoyed by social media, overthinking, and even doubting what you have done, the decisions that you've made, the way that you wrote your content, all of these feelings are completely valid. And there is literally no shame of any of it. Now, recently, I've been diving into visibility. Actually, I take that back. Not recently, for a while now, I have been diving deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into visibility and the psychology behind it of why on earth is this so difficult for so many people? Why we go through these waves of being really creative and having all of the ideas and the energy to actually go forth and create and post and engage on social media. And then we get into these low tides of, I just don't want to do it. I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of pouring so much time and energy into it, putting it out there just to have nothing happen. Like literally no likes, no comments, nobody's clicking the link, nobody is following, nobody is interacting with me. So we begin to think, what is the point? Why? Why am I even bothering to do this? But then we realize that we're bothering to do it, or we're being bothered by doing it because there's so much pressure to show up online, to create content, to create visibility. And here's the thing that I want you to know: you are capable of creating visibility inside of your business. And it is possible for you to find your own rhythm on creating consistency with visibility inside of your business. And if you feel completely inconsistent, or you simply just have no idea, like you literally have run out of ideas, you're sitting here saying, I have thought of all the things, I have said all the things, I have created all of the things. And yes, I hear about repurposing. And so I go back to my old content and I repurpose it, but it still flops, or it doesn't do as well as it did the first time around. So I guess that's not a good idea to do either. All this means is that you haven't found your natural rhythm. And I'm going to sit here and encourage you to not give up just yet. And one of the tools that I have found to help me get out of this feeling of anxiousness and burned out and frustrated by social media and creating content is numerology. This tool literally was a game changer in my business. And I'm just going to sit here and say, and this is a hill that I'm going to die on, that numerology is one of the most practical tools that we can use in our business for visibility, rhythm, and consistency. Now, I'm going to share with you today how we can use numerology to gain more visibility in this month of March 2026. And not only am I going to share a practice with you, but I also want to share a story with you on how this realization and how this really truly came to life for me this month without me realizing that I was already doing this. And quick side note, this is the beauty of finding your rhythm, is that you get into this rhythm and then you don't even realize that you're doing it because it feels so natural to you. And that's literally the idea. This is what makes your rhythm sustainable. And this is how you know when you have found your rhythm, because you're just naturally doing it. I mean, think about your routine in the shower. chances are you do things in the same order every single time. You wash your body in the same order. You start with your arms and then you go to your shoulders and your chest and your back and you work your way down your body. Or maybe you start at your feet and work your way up. But chances are you do the same thing over and over again and you don't even realize it. When you're brushing your teeth or when you're making your coffee, your morning routine, whatever rhythm, I want you to quickly just think about a rhythm that you have. And it doesn't have to be this big thing. It can be something super small and super mundane, like how you wash your body in the shower, right? I want you to think about how that feels inside of your body. It's just very natural feeling. So get in touch with that feeling. You can experience this when it comes to creating content and more visibility inside of your business. Now, one of the things that I have noticed with my clients when it comes to visibility and the struggle of being consistent and um, just the struggle of keeping up with it and why it feels so heavy is that most entrepreneurs are literally trying to make the same content month after month, right? Now, maybe the topic is a little bit different, but the underlying type of content, i.e., pillars, are literally the same month after month. And they like literally are sticking with that, which is why, as I said at the beginning, you might be thinking, I have said all the things. I've already created all of the content. I'm out of stuff to say. And I don't want to bore my audience by saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. And this can make creating content feel really hard and really heavy. Like, can we just go, together? Like, do it with me. Yeah, get that out of you. But with numerology, it's different because each month is different. Each month literally is carrying a different energy frequency that is going to shift your visibility theme. So let's talk about March. March is a 4-month, and this is known as the builder. Okay. And the builder is all about stability and structure and foundations. So we're going to hone in on what visibility looks like through the lens of the builder. And we're specifically going to, in this episode, for this exercise, we're going to tap into stability. Because yeah, you can go with structure, you can go with foundations, okay? There's lots of different directions that you can go, but for the sake of keeping things simple, let's stick with stability. This is literally what we are doing inside of my Rising Entrepreneur membership this month. This is the visibility content that I gave to them this month. And now I'm here sharing it with you because honestly, it's just too good to not share. Okay. So think about the word stability. Stability is reliable, right? It's about being consistent, right? It's stable. It's always there. So when we look at visibility through the lens of the builder and stability, we are literally creating a reputation of being reliable. Okay. So this month, be reliable. And I don't mean that in the sense of the fact that you're creating content every single day. That sounds exhausting. And we're already on the struggle bus about creating content consistently. So I want to shift your perspective on what creating content can look like. It can literally look like you commenting on other people's content. That is literally content. You are creating content when you are making posts on other people's content. So whether you're on LinkedIn, you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're in Facebook groups, what would it look like and how would it feel to take a step back from creating your own content right now and just focus 10 minutes a day on commenting on other people's posts? This is literally making yourself visible. So I'm going to encourage you to do one or two of the following, and I want you to lean into what feels really good for you, to share your perspective on what they are saying. Or maybe you have a different approach from what they're trying to do, or read the comments and see what everybody else is suggesting. Okay, this is being authoritative. Okay, this is what is everybody else doing and how am I doing it differently, or how would I do it differently? And I'm going to share that perspective and that approach with you. Maybe you have experience and the same thing, and you're literally just going to share your experience. You're just like, you're not giving any advice necessarily. You're just saying, hey, I went through the same thing and this was my experience. Or it could be just as simple as what you're feeling called to share about their topic. Maybe you have a practical solution, or maybe you have a connection. Maybe you can't help them. Maybe you don't have an approach. You don't have any experience, but you know somebody that can help them. So you say, hey, I know the most perfect person that can help you walk through this problem. And then you tag that person below. This is literally every single one of these options is visibility, and it's creating content through stability and reliability because you're showing up for them. This is not about you necessarily. You are literally showing up for them, and that's what makes you reliable. So let's run through these 6 things again. Wait. Okay, there's 6. I only gave you 5. So we're going to run through them again to make sure that you got all 6 of them, of how you can respond, or my suggestions to you for responding, right? So first and foremost is showing your different approach, right? You showing up as the authority and sharing your perspective or your approach on it. The second one is, what are you feeling called to share or to talk about on the topic? What are you feeling called to tell them? Okay. The third one is experience. So sharing and talking about your experience that is similar to what they are going through or what they are asking about. The next one is connecting them to somebody. Do you know somebody in your network or in your industry or outside of your industry? Maybe there's somebody that you met at a networking group, or it's a client of yours, right? So not only are you serving the person that you are creating the response on, but you're also curating and nurturing that relationship with the person that you're tagging. Okay. The fifth one is giving a practical solution. If you have a practical solution to their problem, then share that practical solution, right? And the sixth one is very similar to the third one of sharing your experience, but it is, how are you doing this in your life? So as you can see, visibility is more than just about creating content online or getting an updated branding photo shoot, which are very important aspects to your visibility plan. But let's think outside of the box, right? Let's not put ourselves in this box of the only way to gain visibility is to show up to networking meetings, create content online, or to get more photos or create new videos. We are literally here to serve the collective. And in turn, that serves us. But we're putting the collective, we're putting others first. And this is really about what entrepreneurship is about, right? We are literally here because we have a zone of genius. We have a gift that we can share with the world. So go out and share that. It doesn't have to be originated by you, by creating new content every single month, day, week, whatever it is that you are trying to do. And for crying out loud, there's a good chance that when you are looking at other people's content and interacting with their content, that it's going to inspire you and spark an idea in you of something that you can create content about. Now, I want to share with you a quick story before we wrap this up about how this implementing this type of structure through numerology has made an impact and given me visibility without me even realizing it, because it's such a natural rhythm for me at this point because I've been doing it for so long. And when I say so long, I'm talking like 2.5 years. Recently, at my networking event, which is called the Women's Business Breakthrough, at the end of the event, one of the attendees came up to me and said, I am so excited to finally meet you. I see your content all the time, and you are in real life how you show up online. And I kind of paused for a second because my first thought was, well, wait, like I've taken a total break from social media content and I'm not really posting on Instagram or even really posting on Facebook. And she's like, no, I see your stuff all the time. And that's when it dawned on me. It's like, oh, it's because I'm so active on other people's content. And that's where she's seeing me. And that's one of the things that drew her to not only coming to my event, but coming up and talking to me and making a connection. And this is what visibility is all about. It's about making those connections. It's about having people become aware of who you are and what you do. Now, hopefully, this has inspired you. That is my hope for this episode, to not only inspire you to think outside of the box, but to set you into motion of what you can do this month of March to take the pressure off of creating content and make things a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, and to give you direction on how to approach commenting on other people's content. Now, I am in the process of expanding on this and creating a free PDF download that walks you through numerology and visibility. So in numerology, you have the numbers 1 through 9, and then you have your master numbers 11, 22, and 33. And just like March being a 4-month, which is the builder, and it has its own energy frequency, so does every single number 1 through 9, 11, 22, and 33. So there is a visibility frequency inside of each one of these energies. And in this free PDF download, I am going to be sharing you what that looks like, just like I did with you here today, so that you can start using this incredible practical tool of numerology to help create consistency with your visibility inside of your business so that you have sustainable momentum and growth. Now, if you're listening to this just as this is being published, then chances are it's not quite ready just yet, but you can join my newsletter. And once the PDF is ready to be delivered, everybody that's on my newsletter is immediately going to get a copy of it. Now, if you are listening to this after it has been available, then there'll be a link in the show notes for you to grab a copy of this visibility and numerology free download. And I encourage you to drop down into the show notes and click the link so that you can get your hands on this. And this is literally just a taste of what we do inside of the Rising Entrepreneur membership. So how we dive into visibility, we also dive into other areas of your business to create that same consistency and sustainable momentum in a way that reduces stress, overwhelm, burnout, exhaustion, overthinking, all of the things that are making running your business feel really heavy for you right now, so that you can have more visibility inside of your business. So try this and see what shifts for you. And I'll see you on the next episode of Shifted, which I have a big announcement for you guys, something that's in the works, bigger than this free opt-in that I am working on for you right now. There is a shift that is coming to Shifted, and I can't wait for it to come to life, and I can't wait to share it with you. So I hope you tune in next week so that you can hear all of it. Hi, I'm Kimberly Romano, Indian wedding photographer turned brand photographer and human design reader. Thank you for tuning into Shifted, the podcast that is here to spark a shift in you that creates big change in your energy, perspective, and direction. And if this episode sparked a shift in you, then subscribe and leave a review sharing what your shift was. Not only will this help others discover this podcast, but your shift can inspire them to have a shift of their own. Please remember, the content you hear in this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as legal, health, or financial advice. For professional guidance, I encourage you to seek out a trusted expert near you. Thank you again for tuning into Shifted. Until next time, keep leaning into the shift.